Today we're just going to take a quick look at OIA's document approval for iManage, which is a workflow process built on WorkflowGen by Advantis and is tightly integrated with the iManage Work document management system. The purpose of the document approval for iManage Workflow is to provide a quick and easy out-of-the-box solution for iManage business users to send documents for approval to one or two approvers, and ensure that along the course of the approval process, the metadata, the document history, and the people involved in the review process are kept up to date via email. The main components of our workflow solution are the document itself, the document's properties and history, the workflow forms, and the email notifications. So I've got this document here, my CBC preliminary contract. It's stored in the iManage document management system. And once I'm ready and I know I want to send this for approval, I can right click the document and select the document approval option. This will bring me to my document approval for iManage workflow and present the workflow form to me. You'll notice it's lifted some of the iManage metadata from the document, so the document name and the document ID, as well as the client name, the matter name, so on and so forth. We've also included an NRL link that's attached to the workflow form. From here, as the initiator of the workflow, I can do some things like setting a deadline. I can select the first reviewer. In this case, I'll just select myself. If I wanted to, I could select a second reviewer, but I'll leave that blank in this case. I can add comments. And then I can select an option. So in this case, send to reviewer 1, or I could save it as a draft if I wanted to come back to it at a later date. So submitting the workflow shows me the workflow summary page, and you can see here we've got things like information about the document, as well as NRL links and web links to the document itself. As the first document reviewer, I've received an email from our document approval for iManage workflow, and along with the email I've got a copy of the form as well as an NRL link which will allow me to directly open the document from iManage. In the email itself, it's giving me a little bit of information about the document, some of the metadata, and the current status of the document as well. From here I can just click complete review and it'll take me to my step of the workflow form. Here you can see we've got all the metadata, the web links, the NRL links. So from here you'll see it's respected the protected view for the NRL link. I can review the document. Once I'm happy, I can just close that document down, go back to the workflow form. From here, if I wanted to, I could select a second reviewer and send that off to the reviewer 2. In this case, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Yes, looks all good. From here, I can approve and close, but I could also send it back to the initiator, reject it, or save it as a draft if I want to come back and finish that at a later date. So I'm going to select the approve and close option here. Again, it's going to give me a summary of the workflow. You can see we have links to the NRL and the web version of the document. I can check the graphical view and I can see all the various steps that have been included in this particular workflow, including the fact that it's now completed. And as the initiator of the workflow, I've received an email notifying me that the request has been closed, along with a copy of the workflow form and a link to the document in iManage. Let's take a look at some of the steps that have occurred to this document. The first thing you'll notice is that it has a padlock, which means the document's been marked as a record. If I have a look at the properties of the document, you'll notice the workflow status has been set to workflow approved and the workflow assignee is myself. If I have a look at the document history, I'll notice that the profile's been changed, so the document approval workflow status has been set to approved and the workflow assignee has been set to myself. As a workflow user, I can start a new request. I can view my requests in progress. I can also have a look at the actions that have been assigned to me, or perhaps actions that are assigned to a group that I'm in.